All right, welcome back to Untitled Common Sense. My name is Derek. Today we got a good one. I know last episode it was a little bit of a rant slash crash out. I got fired up, but and I want everybody to work with me. I'm just trying to, as we do this, I'm trying to find the groove, what I need to be. I'm trying to keep things at 15 minutes, but it's hard, and I get so passionate about this. But today's topic is going to be a little bit more of a introspective deep dive. This one's going to challenge those neurons, I hope, a little bit more. And we're going to get a little bit philosophical and wax poetically. So for this episode, episode 12, basically we're going to talk about how Trump is America's mirror image. I know that's a lot to take in. You might be like, what the hell are you talking about, mirror image? Let me cook. So today I was listening to this YouTuber named Ben Smith. He's a meditation YouTuber. He lives in the UK. He's a meditation teacher. You know, during this tumultuous time, I'm trying to up my spiritual game and get my mind right and my mentals. And so I've been looking up a lot of stuff about meditation and quantum mechanics and quantum physics and, realization and, controlling your reality, all in an attempt to like divest myself from this craziness. Cause it seems like this just can't be all that there is. Like all the BS of this modern, everyday, physical world we live in, to me, just like, if this is the end all be all, oh my God, shoot me now. It just seems so inauthentic, so empty, so just non-nutritious. It just seems like if this is it, like, oh man, we're not doing good. But anyway, I was listening to Ben Smith, and funnily enough, the video I had picked was like an 8-minute video. It was like, basically the title was like, if you see this, you're seeing this because you're meant to. That was the title of the video. Like, you're seeing this video because you're meant to. And I was like, okay, I'll buy it. Let's see how applicable this is for me right now. And so he's going into the video and he's talking about meditation, and he was talking about how, and this is the part that really resonated with me. He was talking about how we all are mirrors of each other. And generally, the people that we have in our lives and the situations we're in with other people are like mirrors that allow us to define who we are. And the part that really got to me is he's like, he was like, so when you meet somebody who does certain things and it irks you and things like that, and they usually say the things that irk you in other people are things that irk you about yourself. Well, he said this, and then it was like, clicked. I'm like, whoa. And keep in mind, it's like maybe 6 in the morning because I'm up, with my young newborn. And so he's sleeping and I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, he blew my mind. And immediately I was thinking about, what we're doing here with Untitled Common Sense. And it got me to thinking like, that's it. Trump is the mirror of America. It's the reason why him as a figure is so polarizing. Trump is America in this modern age. He is the end result of our mentality, our values, and our ideology in this modern age. And when you think about it like that, it's easy to see why he's such a polarizing figure. If you love him, he's this grandstanding, no nonsense, tough as nails, 5D chess playing, tell it like it is, charismatic, salt of the earth-esque man who, just gives it, crack skulls and take names. And you're like, fuck yeah. And that part of America sees themselves in it. They're like, yeah, this dude is not going to be taken in by the man. He's going to upset the system. He's going to make everything fall to our terms and things like that. But on the other hand, if you're on the left, the progressives or people who don't follow Trump, you're like, is that us? Are we condescending? Are we cruel? Are we capricious? Are we fickle? Are we egotistical? Are we deluded? Are we do we require immense amounts of validation? Are we so materialistic that all we care about is material things? Are we so callous to our next man? Like, is money all that really matters? And so depending on which side of the coin you fall on, it's a very jarring effect. On the one hand, you're like, we've met the hero. This dude is Captain America. He embodies everything I want to see. And if you're that dude, this is a great time. He's going to make America great again. We're going to be walking on streets of gold. But for those of us who are not on that side, why are we like this as a country? Why are we so cruel? Do people's lives not matter? Let's think of the little people. What about these people over here? Why are we so against immigrants? Like, where's this hatred coming from? Why are we angry? Canada's unfair to us? Like, you're trying so hard to reconcile, like, this is what we are. And so Donald Trump has become this giant mirror for us and the world to see, that people looking outside, in different countries are like, wow, you're American now. And us looking in, depending on which side you're on, you're like, wow, look at us now, or like, wow, that's us now. And it's crazy. Trump is, he is our worst virtues tempered by greedy excess. Like, in the places where Trump is good and he has, what he has, the rugged individualism, this die hard, never say never, never quit attitude, this strong, burly, just commanding presence. I do what I want and take no, that is just unfortunately paired with so many vices and so many just excesses that degrade that. I mean, like, think of it this way. If Donald Trump is this grand person that the people on the right and people in MAGA think he is, then why is he going about executing that and showcasing that in the worst way? You command people's attention in their ears. People feel when they're in your presence that he's a guy I can relate to, and yet he so callously throws all that away in favor of his own selfish validation. I mean, you guys saw my last episode where I kind of just ranted about the sycophantic nature of Donald Trump and this administration. And it's like, it's so antithetical to the American spirit, but at the same time, it's exactly what we are. Because we in America have gotten so glutted on ourselves that we just think we're the cock of the walk, the big shit. We think we can do no wrong. We think we are the strongest. We think we are the loudest. We think we are the best in everything. We think nobody can touch us. We think the world needs us. We don't need the world. And it's the same mentality that Donald Trump has. We love it when people give us compliments, being like, oh, America's this great land and we got all this opportunity and we got the best sports and blah, blah, blah. And at the same time, with all those things being true to some degree, the reality is we're fickle. We're insanely greedy. All we do is work, work, work. All we care about is money. I mean, you have nothing but to look at the Republican Party. Half of our political body is so motivated by money that they put Donald Trump in. And they're so motivated by money that they will get rid of any and all governance this government will do because they don't want to spend money on other people. All they care about is that our economy is doing well and they're able to make money. Fuck if people have health care. Fuck if people have education. Fuck if we have national parks. They don't give a bullshit about any of that. As long as money can flow, that's all that matters. Which is crazy because the government is supposed to govern, supposed to help the people live their lives, not make money. But Donald Trump is exactly that. He's lazy. He's incompetent. He doesn't know enough about anything, but he certainly has opinions on everything. Everything he does, we as a country embody those values. All of us, to various degrees. I am myself. I'm kind of lazy. But on the one hand, I don't speak about things I don't know about too much. So you're not going to catch me up on that. But there are times where I'm just like resting on my laurels because I live in America. And that's part of the reason why he got elected. I voted, but you know what? I should have been taking more of an active role in politics and seeing these signs that led up to this. I should have seen that the GOP was getting steadilier, greedier, and greedier, that they would do anything just to have their way so that businesses can be unregulated and the government didn't have to pay anything. They essentially wanted to create a government where they can get paid and they didn't have to do any work. I sat by while the Democrats engaged in meaningless platitudes and continued to disconnect from the very people they were here to serve and got bought out by money because I was resting on my laurels. And so, with that being said, you see how somebody like Trump then becomes the ideal representation of what this country is about. Just as he's crashing out, America's crashing out. He believes that America has all the cards. We here in America believe that. We may not believe it to the same degree as, some right wingers, but we kind of believe that, we're that fresh. But now we're seeing that, no, we're not. We've become a money hungry society that cares nothing about community, yet wants to extol patriotism and unfettered loyalty as far as the eye can see. That's Donald Trump. He will spout patriotic rhetoric all till he's blue. But what he really wants is just loyalty to him, not any loyalty to you. He doesn't care about you as long as you can be loyal to him. That's what we in America feel. That's how we feel. As long as you can do for us, you're cool. Think about doing for you. Why the fuck would we do that? That same mentality. Like, I got to get mine. I got to make that paper. We've made it okay that getting paper is the excuse for any atrocity. We butt our nose into different geopolitical hotbeds and don't even know the facts. Just say, we don't like it. This is it. That's so American. Just butt in and talk about shit you don't know. Everybody's been educated by TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, but don't know a goddamn thing about a goddamn thing. That's us. That's Donald Trump. Every time they ask this man a question, he'll give some roundabout answer that said hot as nothing. This dude, if we were in school, it would be like the teacher calling on you and say, hey, so did you read the thing? And you make up this long drawn out story that has nothing to do about the assignment. And you're like, whew, I dodged one. The teacher's like, you didn't read the book. All that just to say, you could say you didn't read the book. This man wants to be president, but doesn't want to president. You ask him, what about the Signal game? I don't know anything about that. What about the gentleman who was wrongfully sent away to your gulag? I don't know anything about that. You got to talk to other people or handle that shit. Dude, you're the leader of a country. You don't know what the fuck's going on? But that's so American, isn't it? I ain't do that shit. That was the next man. Pass the buck. No accountability. Nobody's accountable now. Nobody has any morality, especially when it comes to money. Money, you can do whatever the fuck you want because it's about making money. I contend, and this will be another video, maybe a deep dive, that making that economics is war. We're in a trade war. It's war because everything about economics plays by the rules of war. There's continual escalation. Anything goes. That's why they don't want it to be regulated. That's why Trump pulled us out of all these different accords. Because if you don't have people holding you accountable for atrocities, you can do whatever the fuck you want. The parallels, the mirroring is just crazy. And so as I'm sitting here thinking about it, it just becomes increasingly apparent that we are what Trump is. Even if we didn't vote for him, we allowed the conditions for him to rise to happen. Our callousness, our greed, our short-sightedness, our myopic view, we're just as unhinged as he is. Just think of how many people we talk to that are now spouting insane conspiracy theories and whacked out takes about nothing, about random shit they saw on the internet. Don't question where it's from. Just say that's what it is. And they believe this. People hate vaccines now. I've never heard of that shit before. And you got people who are educated people who are got to stay away from those vaccines. Look, I know COVID was different, for everybody. But Jesus McFucking Christ, was it that crazy? I loved COVID. It slowed and stopped everything the fuck down. I was able to think again. I was able to connect with the people that meant most to me. I was able to think about what I want to do with my life. I didn't have to worry about getting up, going here, doing that, making money. Like all that shit stopped down. Animals were out in the streets. Nature was coming. They said we was less pollution. Shit for me was better. And I know that wasn't the case for everybody. But it blows my mind how everybody got fucking blitzed by this. Like being told to be inside was the last thing anybody wanted to do. And again, COVID showed us just what type of people we are. Say what you want about the threat that COVID imposed. People didn't know. But what they did know was that all of this was leading to cases where basically the medical infrastructure did not feel it would be able to handle the amount it was getting. And they didn't want to add to that, which is why we had the lockdown. That's really what it is. We just didn't have the capacity to have everybody up in these hospitals. And people lost their damn minds having to stay indoors. And it makes you wonder, just like, yo, what if we have a real threat? What if there's like a zombie outbreak or we get Ebola and you have to stay home? You're just not going to do that because you want to get a beer or go out and see your friends? And that's Trump. Dude has no qualms about spending millions of dollars every weekend to play golf. He makes that golf outing every weekend on time. But ask this man a serious question about the economy, he doesn't know what the fuck's going on, or he'll muse over groceries, funny word, groceries, and just talk in circles until you're just like, whatever, I don't fucking care. But he'll be on his golf course. He'll spout out whacked out things like birthright citizenship is about, like he just said, is about slavery. So when you think about it like that, you don't need to have it. And it's just like, wow, that's what we're going to use. It's about slavery. So because it came from slavery, we should just throw it away. If that's the case, then there's a lot of things that slavery provided for this country. Should we just throw that away? But that's the logic. And people are like, oh my God, he's speaking facts. Let this man cook. And it's crazy. But that's who we are. We find somebody who says, I'll take care of it. Don't worry. And we're like, no questions need to be asked. We'll just do it here because that's our culture. We just want a quick fix and then we can get back to doing hot as nothing like we've been doing. We've been sleep at the job. And now we have a president who reflects sleeping at the job. He'll say some things, rousing speech, say something funny, and you're like, yeah, shit's getting handled. And while that's happening, the world is on fire. This dude has literally set the world on fire. Now, there's a part of me that thinks, you know what, this needs to happen because there is an order that needs to be broken. But the orders that are being broken, people are not putting the pieces together. They're like, I'm seeing all this unnecessary destruction and turbulence and everything. And they're kind of getting there. And then they miss the point. But it's that woke ideology. That's what's getting it. You know, they'll make every excuse for it not to be like, yo, our capitalist systems are killing us. Our insane greed and consumption are killing us. You know, our addiction to social media is killing us. And all these things are encapsulated into Donald Trump. He's constantly on social media, spouting hot ass booty about hot ass nothing. Waking up in the middle of early in the morning to spout off some proclamation. He's like that unhinged dude. You know, when I'm sure everybody's lived in the city. If you lived in the city, there's that one crazy guy who's just yelling all over the place and saying shit that don't make sense. And you're just like, I'm just gonna cross the street and walk past this motherfucker. That's Trump. He just does it on Truth Social, but he does it every night. Some inane thing comes in mind, like, oh, you need to do this and blah, blah, blah. Like the shit with Canada. Has he really just been sitting for however many years thinking, man, I need Canada. Canada's looking tight up there in the north. We need to get that. Same with like Greenland and Panama Canal. And now you got all the people who support him like, yo, that's the bombest idea ever. Motherfuckers have seen the map for years and years and never once thought about Canada or Panama or Greenland and all. And now they're like, yo, that shit makes sense. And then you ask them and they're just like, it just makes sense. And it's like, are we that baked? And the answer is yes. Because the fact that shit like this makes sense to people means we are complicit in this. We are this big vapid, sensationalist, culture, people like the drama of it. We're so messy. We love drama. And now our government's drama. And so every day we got our popcorn, like, what's going to happen now? Ooh, burn, sick. It's just sick. Instead of just doing the shit, getting the work done, moving to be in a better place, we're sitting here being angry at one another over bullshit. Why are you angry about all this shit? Trans issues. You know what could have been with the trans issue? You know how they could have handled that? Let's put a pause on everybody, who's transitioned in high school on sports, and let's look at this. Let's see if this is really fair. Let's just take some time and debate on it. While that's happening, we'll keep it separate. That's all we needed to do. People over here acting like this is a literal hot button issue that will define a generation for come. It's not. There's not that many trans people out there playing sports in high school. It's not like the NBA is just suddenly going trans. It's just not. It's just not. But people are like, this is what's going on. It's not. You're listening to shit on social media. Social media is the only place where a drop of water sounds like a waterfall. It just amplifies bullshit. It's just mindless busyness because we can't sit there in silence. We go on our phone and we hear dumb shit. And Donald Trump is the exact representation of that. Just listening to stuff online, hearing random things, and then spouting it off and having no idea what's going on. And then just like, bragging about getting money for his friends, all the while people in small businesses are losing their business because of tariffs he wants to do that he knows nothing about. He doesn't. He just doesn't. He doesn't understand how it works, or he doesn't fucking care. And you know what? That's an American thing. Fuck it. I'm just going to wing it. I don't need to know. I'm just going to, by virtue of me being awesome this shit up. And it's like, it's such an American thing. And it's so fucking tired. Because when you hear the rhetoric from people who are all about America, like, bro, get your shit together. You need to be about this. I'm serious about this game. I wake up every day at 3 a.m. and drink an egg. And then I go and trade stocks in Japan and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like this bravado, this need to be this larger than life figure. This need to just be seen as the best instead of just being easy, coexist, live your life. And it's all for nothing. But in the end, this is what we're choosing. And so instead of us literally like looking at this, like I think this will be looked at, if there is still in America, as a polarizing figure, polarizing moment in history. This will either be the point where we look at ourselves in the mirror, see Donald Trump, see this administration, see everything wrong with the world, and decide, fuck, we need to go to rehab. We need to go do our 12 steps. We need to get clean and sober. We need to get through our jitters. We need to get in a group and talk about what's happened with us. We need to make amends with the people in our life that we've hurt and rebuild. Or we just take another hit, crash out, and then end up in a ditch, gone. Because that's the only way this can happen. We can't go back from this. This mirror is too large. It's too HD high definition for all of us not to walk away changed. The people who believe in him will think this is what we need. We need more of that. And they will keep smoking that good ass meth. And then those of us who will be like, oh my God, this is what we become, are going to have to really be like, we need to make radical changes in a positive way. Because the path we're going down right now is a path of our own creation. And we are wilding the fuck out and nobody's having fun. We're like that kid who grew up in the Catholic school system and did all the rules and went to college and got turned the fuck out. Started drinking, started smoking, started doing all types of drugs, being promiscuous, failing grades. That's who we are right now. And, it pains me to see so many people revel in this. Like this is the country you want. Leadership, incompetent at all levels. You couldn't even get like competent goons. We got incompetent goons at all levels. And they're not nice people. Stephen Miller is one of the most deplorable. I'm sorry. Even if you're on the right, you got to look at him like, dude, I don't like you. You're smarmy. You always look like you want to yell. He reminds me of the villain from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. The judge, when he takes off the mask and he's like, you know who killed your brother, Eddie? It was me. He talked like that. He looks like that unhinged dude who's going to snap. The dude's just evil. He just does not like shit about the world and he wants to see it burn. RFK. This dude is such a on the one hand, he says things that I really believe. Like, I do believe that, like, yeah, let's take out all the preservatives and all the crap out of our food. Let's get rid of the dyes. You know, let's start really focusing on exercise. And then on the other hand, he'll do some whacked out shit like, oh yeah, these vaccines, they're a detriment, and take vitamin A for measles instead of a vaccine. Knowing he's got the vaccine. He was inoculated. That motherfucker's sitting pretty. But for the rest of you, take vitamin A. And yeah, we'll do that. We don't need an organization to take care of the health for a nation this large. Everybody can just do it with random hand remedies that no one's proven work. Like, he's just doing witch science. Like, if you heard that from anybody else, you'd be like, what the fuck is this kook talking about? And that's the dude who's about our health. He'll be right on something and then wrong on another. And it's just like, why? Why couldn't you just get somebody who's like, look, I don't believe in this vaccination shit, but I do believe in this. And at least I could be like, okay, he's not going to push him, but he's not against him. But we get loons. Howard Lutnick is just a boisterous guy like, oh, I made money and this is what you need to do. I don't fucking care. I just want to be on TV. I'm a loud guy. Like, if you met him in real life, you'd be like, dude, I don't like you. You're abrasive. You talk a lot about shit. You don't sound like you really know what's going on. Like, and it's just all of that. He just surrounds himself with just nasty, incompetent, thirsty people. And you can see that when you saw the whole round table, everybody glazing him. Like, America is not here to kiss ass, but we must be, because people are fine with that. Oh, dude, kissing Trump's ass is the best. Vitamin C, 100%, everything you need in life. Like, that's the America we are, where we go around the table and we glaze. What? You don't find that weird? Whenever we've seen other countries do their propaganda, we're like, that shit's fucking weird. And now we see it every day. Every day we get a window into, quote unquote, the most transparent administration. And it's just a shit show of just radical, weird as reality TV type shit. He's got the Oval Office gilded in gold. He's like, gold, remember? Gold everywhere. Just like, dude, that's tacky. We don't need gold. The dude is like these early, late 1990, early 2000 Cash Money motherfuckers. But Cash Money. Dude talking about, I carry all my jewels in a briefcase on me everywhere. I remember he said that, and this is before Puffy, things came out. He looked at it like, dog, you should really put that into like some stocks or something. He looked at him like, dude, what the fuck you doing carrying like thousands of jewels in a briefcase with handcuffs? Like, that's the dumbest shit ever. And that's what Trump's doing in the Oval Office. He's like a 2000 era Southern rapper. Got a chalice, giant ass gold chains, and just rocking that, just flaunting wealth. That's how motherfuckers get got in the hood. Walking around with all this metal on you. That's how you get fucking murked. And that's what he's doing. And he likes that shit. And then the whole Oval Office is just poses of him just like, yo, and this is me sitting here thinking, and this is me at, In-N-Out Burger. Like, all for himself. Are we as Americans so fragile in our ego that we need constant validation? That we just have to be pimping all over the place? We just can't be like, yo, just let what we do speak for ourselves. You need everybody to tell you how great you are. But apparently America does. Apparently we need the world to say, we need you, we love you, because we don't feel that we're valued enough. And keep in mind, we show no love or courtesy for anybody else. Go to other people's countries, we're loud, we get upset when we fuck up their shit and they come down on us. How can you do that? I'm American. What's going on? You see all these like influencer TikTok people doing dumb shit in different countries and they get put in jail. Like, you can't do shit like that. You can't fucking spit on people and then be mad when they look at you like, dude, what the fuck is going on? It's just madness. But to my original point, it's our madness. We're just as unhinged. We're just as superficial. We're just as unserious. We're just as lazy. We're just as boisterous. We're just as audacious. We're all of that. All of what Trump is us. He is 100% US, 100% made in the USA. And love it or hate it, it is what it is. Now, I hope that you see this, you see what's going on, and you be like, I don't like it. Because I don't like it. This is not the country that I am from. I don't think that I am so cruel and callous and so stuck up my own ass that I think this is good governance and that this is a good representation of us on the world. You got people not wanting to come to this country anymore. You got people not wanting to live in this country anymore. You got us doing foul shit like we're fucking North Korea or Russia. It's cool to be cruel. And people are fine with that. But yet they cry that their families won't let them in on Thanksgiving. Why would you want to let somebody into your home to break bread? And they talk about, yeah, let's fucking get all these illegals out and put them in a gulag and fuck what they have. Okay, if they are dangerous criminals, I get it. But when they're not, and you're just like, I'm fine if we get a few good apples with the bad, that's fucked up. Because if that same shit happened to you, you'd be crying out, where's the justice in it all? The hypocrisy of this is disgusting. It is disgusting. And we as Americans should not be cool with this. Donald Trump should not represent who we are as a nation. He just shouldn't. But he does, because it is exactly who we are as a nation. Like they said in The Dark Knight, Batman was the hero that Gotham deserved. And he is the president that we here in America deserve. Now, the real question is, what are we going to do about that? So that's my video for today. Less ranty, no crash out, a little bit more in-depth thought analysis. I liked it. I think it was a really good thing. Hope to do more. But until then, stay frosty, San Diego.